Hey everyone, happy Valentine's Day. And today we are reading this incredible story again about Peter and Cornelius. And to really understand this, we have to get the fact that the early Christians, the first Jewish believers, did not quite understand that God was also there to save the Gentiles. They hadn't got their heads around that yet. And this is a massive turning point for them. We saw yesterday that God gave Peter this vision, and he kept saying to him, "Don't call anything unclean which I have called clean." And that's going to include the Gentiles. And so when Peter arrives at the house, first of all, it's an interesting passage where it talks about, Cornelius says, "Okay, well, tell us what has God commanded you to say? Tell everything." And when you ever get that question about, well, what is it that Christians believe? How do you explain the gospel to someone? Here you get the essence of what Peter says. So what he does and this is a lesson for us whenever we want to tell anyone about really what Christianity is all about, he talks about the person of Jesus. And he says, well, it's about Jesus of Nazareth, and it's about the fact that he wandered around and he seems to have this power that meant he was able to heal people and set everyone free who was under the power of the devil. And then he was killed, and then he came back to life again to specific witnesses, people who'd eaten with him and spent time with him, and he commanded us to go and to tell other people what had happened and the message that he brought. That's in effect what we should be saying whenever someone asks us, what is Christianity all about? It's about Jesus. This is what he did. This is what happened to him. This is the fact that he came back to life again. And I'm a witness. I believe I've encountered him in some way. I haven't physically seen him, but I believe in the truth of this message, and you should too. So it's really simply, it's just telling the story of Jesus and how we have come to find that to be true in our own lives. And then again, I want to come back to the fact that the Holy Spirit is given to everybody. The Spirit is given to the Gentiles. The hard part for God was getting Peter to go to the Gentiles. The hard part was getting the early church to go to the Gentiles. The easy part was getting the Holy Spirit to them. The Holy Spirit just arrived before Peter had even finished what he was saying. The hard part was God getting the church to go to these people. And often that can be true today. The hard part can be God finding a believer who's willing to go to those that sometimes the church can dismiss and sometimes we can be a bit afraid of or a bit scared of. Don't be that believer. I say that to myself as well. Let's be the believers, the followers that God can ask, go to this guy's house or go to that place or go and speak to those people. And we're eager and we're willing because he is keen and earnest in the fact that he wants to lead all people unto life. And he wants to use me and he wants to use you to do that. So whenever you get any inclination that maybe he's sending you to a certain person, go and see what happens.